Awesome. Welcome everyone here officially to our masterclass. My name is Heather Choate. I am the co-owner and founder of Thrive Coaching with my partner, Marc Johnston. And we have now helped over 15,000 couples save their marriage from divorce. And what I'm going to share with you today is something you've never heard before. I want to make sure you guys stay to the end of the masterclass because you do not want to miss any of these crucial steps that are really going to turn things around for you in your marriage. Now, we're going to be talking about how to save your marriage in less than 6 months with our proven process. And I want to make this a very interactive experience. I want it to be a dialogue, not just a monologue. And the best way to do that is to use the chat. Okay. Let me know in the chat any questions that you have, any experiences that you have, where you want to go in your marriage, what you think is going to help get you there. As I'm sharing these different steps with you guys today, let me know when you have a huge aha moment and you're like, oh my goodness, I realize, yes, that is exactly what is going on in my marriage. Oh my goodness, Heather, I realize I have been doing that exact thing you're saying, and that is why my spouse is not coming back to me. I get it now. That is my intention, is that you have a breakthrough today that is really going to make a difference and improvement in your life. Not just great information today, but information that's going to lead to transformation for you. Does that sound good? All right. Welcome, Andre, Angela, Bill, Brandon, Brian, Candy, Chad, Constance. Curtis is here. Awesome. Curtis, I am going to make you a panelist as well. So Coach Curtis is here. He's going to be helping in the chat, answering any questions that you have that I may not be able to see, and giving you guys some awesome opportunities and things there. Welcome, David, Deb, Lance. I think it's Gigi. Yeah, I've seen you here before. So welcome back. Nicole, Rachel, Shannon, Tracy, Veronica. Awesome. Welcome everyone here and everyone else who is joining. Let's dive into it. So I'm going to launch a poll here, and I want you guys to weigh in and let me know, what is your situation right now? What kind of situation are you in with your spouse? Are you couple A, where divorce has maybe been filed, or they're talking about divorce, they're threatening divorce? You want to know what you can do to cancel that divorce and get them back. Couple B, no trust, affairs. Maybe they're having an affair, have had multiple affairs, or you've had multiple affairs, or they're just major trust issues, and you want to be able to heal the damage and have trust between you again. And then C would be communication issues, maybe no communication, maybe really poor communication. Maybe they're ignoring you, blocking you, they won't open up. Maybe everything's turning into a fight. There's a lot of tension between you. You want to know how to open up communication, how to have some respect, and to build some connection. All right. Oops, I went ahead too fast. All right, let me go over here to the chat. Thank you guys for weighing in. Brandon says all of them. You are not alone, Brandon. Shannon got your comment there. So Coach Curtis is going to be helping you with that. So thank you for sharing. All right, awesome. I'm going to end the poll. Cool. So we see here about 25% of you are talking about divorce, 38% of you no trust affairs, and about 38% no communication. All right, awesome. Angela saying B and C. Brandon, she wants a divorce and you're separated. Okay, cool. All right. Thank you guys for sharing that. That helps me know what we can go deeper in today. You're kind of spread across the whole board here. So I'm going to do my best to just touch on everything and get you guys as many solutions as possible. So first thing that I would love to share with you guys is a gift. This is our 7 proven conversation starters guide. It's like a $47 training. I'm going to gift that to you guys for free. My gift to you for coming to the masterclass. I honor you. It says something really special about you, that you are here and that you are seeking for solutions. And I like to reward that. So all you have to do to get these conversation starters is go ahead and fill out the form that we just posted over there in the chat. Just fill out this quick form giving us either your phone number or email, and we will either text it to you or email it to you after the masterclass. And what I love about these conversation starters is they really help you to get more than just the one-word answers from your spouse. They also help you understand what might be some of the barriers, why they're not wanting to open up to you right now, why they're not wanting to talk about certain things, and how you need to understand like the right timing of certain conversations. Because if we press a topic too soon or too early when the relationship might not be strong enough to have that conversation, then it's going to backfire. So this is going to give you clarity on not only what to say, but when to say it, which is really, really important. Now, I mentioned my name is Heather Choate, right? I've been married for, what is it, almost 17 years with my husband, Ben. And when we have had our marriage hit rock bottom at some points and hit some really low points, communication is always the first thing that goes out the window, right? And so this has helped me in my own marriage, help my husband to kind of open up. I tend to be the one that pursues to get things resolved and pursues, improving the relationship and talking about things. He tends to be the avoider. Anyone else here have an avoider spouse and you're the pursuer? It's a little bit of that dynamic, right? So raise your hand. Let me know if you relate to that. Or maybe you're the avoider and your husband or wife is the one pursuing after you, right? Tracy says, yes, you got me. Like, you know what I'm talking about, right? And so this is a way that's helped me with a husband that can be kind of emotionally withdrawn or stonewall or do the silent treatment kind of thing. Help me understand how to get communication open with him. Yeah. Gigi, I'm the avoider. I don't like conflict. Yeah. My husband is a master stonewaller. Yeah. Okay, Belinda, thanks. My wife's the avoider, Andre. I'm the pursuer. Yeah, exactly. Otherwise, why would they be here? Exactly. Yeah. Most of us tend to be the pursuers, but you'd be surprised. Some of us are also the avoiders. It can go both ways. So awesome. So go ahead and grab that guide. It's over in the chat, the link right there, and fill it out. And then we will send it to you right after the masterclass. So we have been working with thousands of couples. As I said at the very beginning, we have helped save over 15,000 marriages right now. Now, that might be a staggering number to your normal therapist, right? Your normal therapist is not going to see 15,000 marriages saved. It's a staggering number for most other coaches or programs out there. They just simply do not see that level of help and transformation. But for us, it's just what we do every single day. How are we able to do this where so many other methods and people trying to save their marriage fail? Well, we found one thing that's a big reason why marriages are failing to solve problems and they're ending in divorce. I say it's something insane because no one else is talking about this. If you've been following us for a little while, you know that what we do is very different than traditional therapy or trying to work on yourself or any kind of like self-help book or program out there. We're literally in the trenches with you, guiding you through these 4 steps that help you to save your marriage in less than 6 months. Now, why do I say 6 months? Okay, I'm going to be really transparent. Is it always 6 months? No, I'm not going to promise that. I can't guarantee that, but that's typically the time frame that we see. And we'll go a little bit deeper into maybe what kind of typical time frame you could see in your situation as well, because it does vary. But that's typically about what we see. Before I go into that though, we're going to share the 5 biggest mistakes most people make when their spouse wants out and how you can solve any problem in your marriage in the next 6 months or less. Okay. So the 5 common mistakes most people make. I will be the first to raise my hand and say, guys, I have made every single one of these mistakes. And if you have, you're not alone. These are things that most people do, which is why most divorce and most people are not happy in their marriage. And if your marriage is really struggling right now, if it's on the fritz, if you feel like you've hit rock bottom, if you're on your last leg of hope, I want you to know it's not your fault. I'm not saying you don't have a level of accountability here, but what I am saying is that it's really your fault because our society is not teaching couples how to have a healthy relationship. If they were, then there wouldn't be 50%, actually more like 55, 60% now of couples ending in divorce, right? If it were teaching us the right skills of how to have a successful relationship, then there wouldn't just be 92% of couples saying that they're actually unhappy in their marriage. That means that there's only 8% of couples in the world that report being happy in their marriage, which to me is an unacceptable number. Our mission and our passion is to make a happy marriage and a happy family the norm. And so what we found are the skills behind what it takes to really have a successful and happy home life, a successful and happy marriage, not just short-term, but long-term for life. So if that sounds like what you guys want, then you're in the right place. Okay. And the great news is that just because you haven't learned these things up until now, you can learn them, and it's going to change everything. All right. Just like it has with all the couples that we've worked with as well. So let's go into these common problems. And I want to do this as an exercise. I want you guys to use the chat here and weigh in and let me know what you guys are thinking, what you've experienced, what's going on in your relationship, because this is about you and where you want to go. All right. So really common problem. We saw in the poll here that we just did at the beginning of the masterclass, right? Most people here have a spouse who wants a divorce. You're currently separated, or they're talking about separation, or their spouse is having an affair. What do most people do in this kind of situation? How do they try to solve it? What do they think is going to solve this for them? Let me know in the chat. This is time to weigh in and have this be a dialogue. I want to hear from you guys. What has been your experience? What have you tried to do to solve these things? What have you been told is the solution? What is going to make everything better according to conventional wisdom? What are some of the things that you hear out there? All right, Andre says society, mainly Western culture, has gone mostly towards individualism in the last few decades. Yeah, you're talking about why most people are not having a successful relationship. We need to learn these skills that just simply are not being taught. So take a deep breath and know it's not your fault, right? We're here to help you learn the things that you just simply haven't learned up until now. And they're nothing special. If they work for me, they work for anyone. If they work for our clients that I'm going to share some of their stories with, today, they're going to work for you too, because they just simply work when you learn them. All right. What do you guys do when your spouse is wanting to pull away, when they're wanting a divorce, when they're having an affair? Yeah. Buy her things, treat her like a queen. All right. Yeah. What's been the effect of that? Has that worked to get her back? Let me know in the chat. He left April 2021 because he's having an affair, says he does not love me, but has not said he wants to come back. I have not asked him either. Okay. Lots of people try begging, pleading, promising to change. That's exactly right, Andre. That is what we see. What about going to therapy, talking to family or friends, looking to other people for their advice, right? Going to YouTube, doing the self-help books, trying to DIY, right? How many of you have been told you need to work on yourself to save the marriage, right? We're going to talk about that. Yeah, raise your hand. I have heard that so much over the past several years. All right. Yeah, lots of pleading, begging, promising to change. Thank you for sharing that. So let's talk about the self-help books for just a minute. How many people here have done the Love Dare? How many people have done the love languages? I've done all of those things. When I did the Love Dare, I just tried to service my husband to death. And it just was completely ineffective. So then I was like, well, maybe service isn't his love language. So then I tried love languages, and I found it was helpful in some ways, but it was too surface level to solve the real issues that were going on between us. More physical affection when there was a complete lack of trust. You know what I mean? It was just too surface level. And yeah, so you're told to focus on yourself and the kids. Yeah, exactly. You've been doing that for over a year already, and it's not working. Yeah. So the problem that this creates is that there's no direction, or it's just ineffective, or it just takes too long, which leads you closer to divorce, which is not what we want. Can we all agree that what you've been doing up until now just simply hasn't been working? Let's just have a moment of honesty and say, you know what I've been doing hasn't been working. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here, right? And that's just the honest truth. We are where we are. So we can say, what I've been doing hasn't been working. And we all know the definition of insanity, right? If we keep doing the same things we've always done, we're going to keep getting the same results. So what we do is we start to do some new things with you that are going to get some different results. Who here would like that? Awesome. Yeah. And Coach Curtis is saying, if anyone would like a free assessment of your marriage over the phone, leave your number and your phone number in the chat, and we will call you right after the masterclass to give that to you guys. Awesome. Belinda says, yes. Brandon says, me. Beautiful. So here's what we do. We help you save your marriage in less than 6 months without wasting years in therapy, without trying to do it yourself, without all these ineffective, garbage, outdated techniques that do not work and help you avoid risking divorce. All right. So let me know in the chat, what have you already done to try to solve this? Some of you guys have been checking in here and letting me know. Some of you done counseling, raise your hand. How many of you have done counseling? How many of you have done therapy? How many of you asked your spouse to do it and they say, no, I'm not going to do it with you, right? Yeah, exactly. How many of you have been working on yourself, trying to improve yourself so that somehow they'll just magically come back to you because you're just a better person. So now they're going to want to be with you, right? How about the marriage books and the programs we talked about, the YouTube videos, all of those things, working on yourself, going to therapy. Yeah, all of them, you guys say, YouTube, self-help, they are good for you. Like self-improvement is always good, but in and of themselves, they are not the solution to save your marriage. If they were, then everyone that's out there trying to work on themselves, which honestly is most people, like most people are actually actively trying to be a little better than they were before. And if that were the solution in and of itself, then everyone would have a happy marriage. But the reality is not everyone has a happy marriage, even though they're trying to work on themselves, even though they're trying to improve themselves. So that in and of itself is not it. The solution is to work on changing your spouse's beliefs and their story about you. Okay. So I want to know, what do you think your spouse's story about you is? In other words, what are the reasons why they say they want out or are justifying or excusing what they are doing? Okay. So let me know over in the chat. Yes. So good. Awesome. Yeah. You've done several books, program, counseling, etc. Nothing. He seems really distant. Yeah. Thank you for sharing that. You moved out almost a month ago. Okay. Awesome. So yeah, thank you. Coach Curtis is going to be helping you with those things. Yeah. Your husband has some surreal stories about you. Okay. Tell me what some of them are. Let me know. Here are some common ones. Let me know in the chat. Weigh in here because this is where I can help you uncover what their story is, why they're thinking that way and feeling that way about you, and what we're going to do about it. Okay. All right. Brian, lack of communication, attention. She left April 8th. Okay. Awesome. Thank you for sharing. She's married to a self-centered, self-serving. I'm not going to say that word, but yes, that made it about himself and I cheated on her. Okay. Loves me, but fell out of love with me. So I love you, but I'm not in love with you. Right? Yeah. We see that one a lot. She has intimacy issues. Okay. There's no trust or respect between us. We have nothing in common. I love you, but not in love with you. He says not in love with me like he was 23 years ago. I'm assuming it says hours, but I'm assuming that was years. Otherwise, that would be a very short marriage. Yeah, no worries. I laugh. That's awesome. Yeah, exactly. Of that. Nothing in common. We're on different paths. We want different things. No trust, control, manipulation, financial security. Okay. Nothing in common and never did after 13 years. All right, my friends. Can you see that you are not alone? Everyone here has a story. Their spouse, has a story about them. This negative belief about them. Now, where does this come from? Right? Well, these beliefs or these stories or these excuses or sometimes these completely made up wild stories out there have developed in their mind over the past weeks, months, and sometimes even years. In fact, I was just talking to a client who's in her 80s and it had been decades of this belief or this story that created this perspective that they have about us, right? And so here's the tricky thing. Whether it's true, and maybe it is true, maybe you did cheat and you aren't trustworthy to that person, or maybe it's not true. And maybe they're accusing you of having an affair and it's not true. Maybe it's a mix of both, whatever that story is, whether it's true or not true, maybe a mix of kind of some truth and kind of some not truth, right? Here's the deal. It's true for them. To your spouse, this is true. This is how they see you. And so what we want to do is, right? So your spouse has a negative story about you. What most people do here, what do most people do? Oh, I gave it away. I clicked the slide too soon. I was getting ahead of myself. So your spouse has this negative belief about you, right? What do you guys do when your spouse believes something that you don't want them to believe about you. I already put it up here. That's right. You get defensive. You try to prove it isn't true. Sometimes you try to make all these positive changes to show them it's no longer true about you, right? And what else do you guys do? Let me check the chat here. I gave it away. Dang it. You guys are smart though. And I'd love to hear what your perspective is. Husband never told me why he wants a divorce. Okay, so you've got the complete silent treatment going on. All right. Let's see what else we've got going on here. What do you guys do when your spouse has a negative belief or story about you? Wait in the chat, see what comes up. Yeah, try to convince them it isn't true. Exactly. Try to show them all the evidence, but you do have to change and show them your changes so they can see and most importantly, believe and feel your changes. Yeah, we're going to talk about that, Andre, exactly what that looks like and how to do it the right way. She doesn't want to talk about what led her to feel that way. I try to show her isn't true. I disengage and feel hurt. Thank you for that honesty. Yeah, sometimes you disengage and you put up the walls because it doesn't feel good, right? Defend yourself to show your changes. All right. So that's a very normal, natural thing to do. We get defensive. We try to prove it isn't true. We try to create space so that we feel safer. And the problem that this happens, what this creates here is your spouse, A, doesn't believe the changes that they're seeing, or B, just doesn't care anymore. They've gotten past the point of caring, which either way is going to lead you closer to divorce, right? Try to present the other side of the claim. Exactly. Defensiveness is one of the 4 horsemen of the marriage apocalypse. Is exactly. Yeah, Gottman is a genius. All of his research that he's done. Yep, exactly. And so what happens here is when you are trying to prove that you are not that person and that story isn't true, they either don't see it or they don't care, or they see it, but they don't believe it, right? And so what we want to do is something very different than that. We help your spouse change their belief or story about you with our PATH method. This is our 4 steps, okay? So they see the possibility of being happy with you and they actually want to be with you. What's the PATH method, okay? It starts like this: peaceful communication and getting perspective into why they're thinking this way. Then adjusting how they see you in a way that's going to be well received and not backfire, get their attention so they're paying attention. 3, trust. 4, hope and close. Okay. So do you guys want to hear from our client, Cynthia, how she was able to open up communication and turn her marriage around using this exact process? When her husband said, there's no way I'm going to work on it with you. I'm done. It's over. I'm not going to go to counseling. I'm not going to go to therapy, and you cannot change my mind. You guys want to hear that? All right. Awesome. Brian says yes. Let's see if I can get my mic. Oh no. Okay, dang it. Sorry, guys. I thought you guys could hear this. Oh, it's so beautiful too. That makes me sad. All right, sometimes my tech doesn't work. Sometimes Zoom switches my microphone and it's all weird. So thank you, Billy, for letting me know I'm back. Ah, dang it. Well, all right. So she was reading the most beautiful, like sappy love letter from her husband saying, I just, I adore being with you. You were my light. And I'm so grateful that you gave us another chance so we could work on this. And to go from a place where he was completely checked out to the point where he's writing her these super sappy love letters just is awesome. So would you guys love to experience that as well? To have your spouse be the one that's chasing after you and wanting to be with you not because you force them or coerce them or try to like analytically show them that their story isn't true and like show all this evidence that it isn't true, but they actually see you with fresh eyes. They see you for who you really are. Yeah, exactly. All right, let's go into our next problem here. What if you're saying, Heather, this all sounds really great, but my spouse won't work on this with me. They're not willing to go to counseling. They're not willing to go to therapy sessions. What do most people do in this kind of situation? When you have a spouse that is not willing to work on it with you at all, they say, I'm done. I'm checked out. There's nothing you can make me do. I'm not willing to go to therapy. I'm not willing to come to a masterclass. I don't even want to talk to you about it. What do most people do? What have you guys done in this situation? Let me know over in the chat. What do most people do when you have a spouse that will not work on things with you? Not much you can do. She said she doesn't want any lawyers or therapists or counselors involved. Yeah, Brian says give up. A lot of people just give up. Yes, exactly. So what else have you guys done? Let me know over in the chat. Yep. Giving up, demanding that they work on the marriage with them, pleading, manipulating, begging them, hold on to hope, just leave them to their self. Yeah, thank you guys for sharing. Those are some very common things that a lot of people do. Try to give them space. Yep, that's another one. And so sometimes you think that if I just give them space and I just kind of like back off, then hopefully that's going to work. And we're going to touch on that. Okay. So what happens when you're giving up, you're demanding, you're manipulating, you're begging, is it's going to push your spouse further away. They're not going to feel safe here. They're not going to feel heard by you. And it's going to push them further away. Yeah, exactly. So what we do is we help you save your marriage, even if your spouse won't work on it with you or attend sessions. About 85 to 90% of our clients start working on this by themselves because typically their relationship is on the very verge of divorce. We're like the ICU for marriage. And so most people have a spouse that isn't willing to work on it with them. And a lot of therapists, well-meaning people, even some pastors and some bishops that we've heard of, and some friends and family will tell you, well, if they're not willing to work on it with you, there's nothing you can do. You should just give up. You cannot control another person. They're right. You cannot control another person. However, when you're saying that there's nothing that you can do and that you should just give up, that is completely false. It is throwing all of your power and giving it to the other person. And what we want you to do is to recognize that you have a level of influence here in the relationship and to empower yourself to do the things that you can do that will make a difference. So it's all about learning what's actually effective to get your spouse to come back to you. Okay. And that's exactly what we help you with in the coaching. So maybe you're like, okay, Heather, this sounds a little impossible. How do you do it if your spouse isn't on board? Well, I was going to share with you Tina's story, but I'm afraid that the tech isn't going to work. So shoot. But yeah, Tina wasn't sure she could do it on her own either. Her spouse said, I'm done. Like I'm not going to go to therapy with you. I'm not going to go to the coaching program. I'm not going to do sessions. I'm not going to work on this. And we were able to help her just as we have now hundreds and actually thousands of other clients whose spouses didn't want to work on the marriage or attend sessions at first. Now, how do we get them from a place of I'm completely checked out to actually, I do want to work on it with you? That's what we help you with in the Path Coaching Program. So I'm not going to be able to share Tina's story. We're just going to go ahead and skip that. I'm going to tell you what this looks like. When you guys are talking about giving space, right? You're talking about giving him some distance, trying to like let him be, not nag. I'm looking at some of the comments here. Give him space that he says he needs, time to reflect, hoping that they will come back. Yeah, exactly. They have free will, so they can accept it or not. I tried begging, telling him how much I love him and that we can work it out. It didn't work. Give him space and pray. Give him space. Hold on to hope. Just leave them to their self. Give up. Like I've seen a lot of this idea. And so one of the things that I want to clarify is that space and distance and time in and of themselves are not actually solutions. A lot of people think, okay, let's just do a trial separation and just give it some time and space. Now, time and space can be great to give a cooling off period, But if there's no plan of action on how to repair the damage, how to get communication open, how to understand and meet each other's needs, how to make appropriate bids for connection and commitment right now, it's not going to resolve anything. Time in and of itself does not actually heal anything. You need to be proactive in giving them time and space, and you need to know what's actually going to help solve these issues between you, what's going to work and what's not going to work. One of the biggest mistakes that we see is people pushing or making huge bids for commitment or connection too soon in this process. If your spouse is saying they want out and you're like, well, come back to me and let's renew our wedding vows, it's not going to be effective, right? If they're saying, I want out, and you're saying, well, you need to honor your vows, at this point, they don't care. So you making that big request for their commitment is going to backfire. And so what we help you do is identify what kind of smaller bids for connection and smaller bids for commitment you can make that actually will be received by your spouse, even if you're separated right now, even if you're only talking a few times per month, okay? And this smaller, slower approach is actually the faster approach. It actually puts you into positive momentum. So it might sound counterintuitive, but what we want to do is actually make smaller bids for connection and commitment that will be received right now by your spouse. And that is going to help them feel safe and heard and want to work on things with you, want to spend more time with you, and want to open up communication with you. Okay. And maybe you're saying, okay, I get it, Heather. I'm willing to do what I have control over. I'm willing to empower myself here in this situation. And maybe you recognize right now, like you are half of the system. If you change half of any system, think about like a car engine. If you change half of it, then now the whole system is completely different, right? So you change half of it, there is a huge influence on the rest of the system. And you're saying, okay, I'm willing to do this, even if my spouse isn't willing to work on it with me right now. But we aren't even talking right now. So how do we overcome that? A lot of you guys talked about communication, right? So that brings us to our fourth big problem and common mistake that most people make, okay? So your spouse won't talk with you. Who here is having a spouse that won't really talk with you? They won't open up communication. Maybe they've blocked you. Maybe they are giving you the silent treatment or stonewalling you. I heard someone over in the chat say your spouse isn't even giving any answer about why they want a divorce. So you don't even know what their story is. You're being completely cut out, right? Yeah, Belinda says, me, exactly. So what do most people do when they have a spouse that won't talk with them, that won't open up communication? What do most people do? She doesn't want to talk about feelings. She prefers to keep it surface level. Okay. So what do most people do when their spouse just wants to talk about surface level things too, right? They don't want to go deep. They don't want to talk about the marriage. When we talk, we have a really nice time, but I think he has resolved he needs to not talk to me so he can pursue the divorce. Okay. So he's got this narrative. I can't really talk to her because I need to go forward with the divorce. So he's got a story there, right? We talk every day, but not about a relationship and how to work on it. They get mad. He refuses. Yeah, again, this is so common. You're not alone. Exactly. Sometimes you try to push them, right? And they refuse. Sometimes you try to resolve those deep issues too soon. And I get it. Like, you're like, I've been married 20 years. Like, I have the right to ask him for commitment, or I have the right to bring this up. I have the right to find out why they're having an affair. And you think that, bringing up this deep root issue is going to solve things between you, but you don't realize that the relationship at this point might not be strong enough to handle that conversation right now. And so what we need to do is bring in some more strength into the relationship before we go into that. Okay. What about keep bringing it up, keep texting them, keep hounding them, keep bugging them about it, right? Or maybe we just give up ourselves and we start pulling away and we start to create some distance, right? Yeah. And the problem that creates is it pushes them away more. It causes more tension. It causes more blowups, and it doesn't actually resolve those deep issues. So what we do is we help you open up communication so they actually want to talk with you, and you can actually talk about anything. All right. So I want to know, this is an exercise. I want you guys to weigh in over in the comments. What level are you at with your communication right now? And Coach Curtis can do a marriage assessment with you guys over the phone. And this is one of the indicators that we look at, is how often are you communicating, to know, is this a situation that can be turned around at this point or not? So let me know over in the chat. Are you level 1? You haven't talked for over a year. No texts, no in-person, no emails, nothing. You have not talked or seen each other for over a year. That would be level 1. Level 2, my spouse has blocked my phone number. I cannot text him or her. Level 3, we talk 1 to 2 times per month over phone or text. And these are kind of like general ideas, so let me know. Yeah. All right, we talk 1 to 2 times per month face to face. Or level 5, we talk 1 to 2 times per week face to face. Level 6 would be that you have close, intimate, amazing connection, and you're talking very passionately and in depth about many things very respectfully. Okay. Even if it's day to day, it would still be about a level 5. So let me know over in the chat where you guys are at. All right. We've got a level 1. All right. So yeah, that is going to be super challenging. We need to visit about that and find out what's going on there. All right. We caught up in person 2 weeks ago, and it was really lovely. He messaged the next day to say thank you and how much he appreciated it. That's awesome. About level 3, and then he went MIA again. Yeah. So that's what we call the teeter-totter effect. So that means you're probably at about a stage 2 or 3 in the restoration process. And there's a little bit more work that you need to do there, Belinda. Chad between 4 and 5, Rachel 5, Veronica 5, Deb 3, Brian 4, but she's always mad. Yeah. Belinda somewhere between 3 and 4, Tracy 5, Shannon 3. You have kids together. Okay. Thank you for sharing that. On phone, 1 to 5 on phone. Let's see, never face to face since December. So maybe a level 3. Okay. You text almost every day, but nothing personal. John 5. Awesome. Okay. A few times during the week. Cool. We talk every day. Okay. Awesome. So here is the bottom line. All right. So thank you guys for weighing in there. So as long as you guys are talking at least a couple times per month, then I can say with assurance that there is hope and possibility for you. For those that said a level 1, I think there was only one person I saw that rated a level 1, then there is not a lot of hope here. And I'm not going to paint a fairy tale picture. I'm here to give it to you really real. If you haven't talked or seen each other in over a year, there is not a lot of hope of being able to turn around this kind of situation. And I know that's not what you want to hear, but I have to give it to you with integrity because it's for your benefit to know, is this a situation that's viable or not? And so unless that changes in the future, there's just not a lot of room to work with. You have to be able to have conversations in order to help them change their story about you and want to come back, right? If there's no communication happening, then there's nothing really that we can do there. And I know that's really rough, but I have to share that with you out of integrity because I don't want to give you like false hope. But for those that are talking more than a few times, at least per month, then there is hope for you. What we need to do is learn how to use those opportunities and make them as effective as possible. Again, if you keep doing those things in the same way you've been doing them, if you keep texting them the same way you've been texting them, if you keep interacting with them face to face the same way that you've been interacting with them, you're going to keep getting the same results. Either more of the stonewalling, the pulling away, the resistance, the tension, the fighting. She's going to keep being mad. He's going to keep going back and forth on the teeter-totter effect. So what we want to do is use those same opportunities that you have and make them as effective as possible by doing it in just a little bit of a new way. And what I love about our coaching is we guide you on exactly how to do that. So let me know what you guys think will help you get there the most. Not only to make these connections and these conversations and these opportunities that you have to communicate right now as effective as possible, but how to actually increase the opportunities so they're going to want to talk to you more. They're going to feel safe enough to open up and talk to you guys about anything. So is it having a coach tell you exactly how to respond to texts that you're getting from your spouse? A lot of you talked about texting at least a few times a week, sometimes a couple times a month, and some of you a few times every day. And so we can coach you on exactly how to respond to those text messages so that they want to talk to you more, so that they don't backfire. So you don't have that hot and cold. You don't have that teeter-totter effect of coming back and then pulling away. You don't have further distancing happening. You don't have further blow-ups and volatility and tension. So let me know in the chat which of these you guys think would help you the most. Is it showing you how you may unintentionally actually be pushing them further away? Despite your best efforts, they keep getting pushed away. That means that there's something that you're doing and you don't realize it, but it is pushing them further away. And so we're going to help you identify what that is, because you don't always see it when you're living it, right? There's a favorite saying of mine that you cannot read the label when you're inside the bottle. So we're all inside the bottle of our own marriage, and it takes someone on the outside that knows how to read that label to help guide us on what we need to do, how to see what's going on, read that label, diagnose the situation, and prescribe the right treatment plan to save this relationship. Okay. How to have the hard conversations. We've got that over there. Maybe how to take the pressure off so your efforts don't keep backfiring. Awesome. Bill says how to text him. Awesome. Billy, thank you. How to have the hard conversations. Support to navigate this season with great wisdom would be brilliant. Awesome. Thank you guys for sharing that over there. And so that's awesome. We can certainly help you get there. We're not done yet. We still have our fifth big problem and most common mistake, which some of you guys shared, is going on in your relationship when trust has been broken, which adds another layer or element to this situation. Okay. What do most people do? Oh, dang it. I clicked the slide again. What do most people do when trust has been broken in their marriage? Okay. Let me know, especially for those that have their spouse is having an affair, or maybe you've broken the trust. What do most people do when trust has been broken? They pull back. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah. They pull away because it doesn't feel safe. Right. And if your spouse has broken your trust, you want to pull away. Sometimes you go into a lot of fear, hypervigilance, checking their phone, checking on them all the time, seeing where they are, who they're with, right? We become like private detectives or whatever, private investigators, trying to like find out what's really going on, blaming them for things, accusing them of things, and withdrawing. Exactly. So thank you guys for sharing that. And what happens here is that this further perpetuates distrust, distance, and divorce. Yeah, do not ever trust what he says. So I shut down also, I nag, accuse, yell, check phone, etc., etc. Yeah. And what happens is it doesn't actually resolve what's going on that led to the break of trust happening in the first place. So what we do is we help you restore trust with the path process, even if it's been broken, so you both can feel safe and secure in the relationship and have a healthy relationship for life. Now, it's usually at this point that I share Leah's story about our client, Leah, who helped, we ended her husband's affair and restored trust between them. But I don't think that the audio is going to be working for us again. So I'm going to have to skip that as well. Beautiful story, though. You can go check it out on our YouTube channel or on our podcast as well. So Leah and others were told that there's no hope, and sometimes they felt like it might be hopeless themselves. And that's why it's so crucial to have an expert guide you through this step-by-step process so you can succeed. Remember, reading the label on your bottle so you can understand exactly what's going on and have an expert guide you on the treatment plan that's going to help you save this relationship. And that's exactly what we help you do in our marriage coaching program. So I want to know in the chat, my friends here, where do you want your marriage to be 3 months from now, 6 months from now, 5 years from now? Where would you like your marriage to be? Would you love to have that trust restored between you? Would you love for them to let go of that narrative that they have about you, that negative belief, and to see you with fresh eyes, to see you for who you really are? And that they love you and accept you and want you for who you really are, that they're willing to work on things with you, that they're wanting to spend more time with you, that they take divorce and separation off the table, that they're willing to give you guys a chance and wanting to get there. All right. Belinda says, I want my marriage flourishing, really fulfilling, and lots of fun. Yeah, awesome. Okay, I love your question there, Billy. We will definitely get to that. Okay. Awesome. And I believe, yes, Shannon, that we got your number there. So thanks for saying that. All right. Beautiful. I want it back for him to stop drinking and blaming me for his unhappiness. So Tracy, what does that feel like to have him back? What is the look on his face at the end of the day when you guys greet each other? What kind of conversations do you have? What kind of dates do you go on? How do you spend your time together? What does that look like 5 years from now, 10 years from now? Because my friends, I can promise you one thing. Challenges come to all of us, right? It's what we choose to do about it that makes the difference. So how do you want to look back on this time at the end of your life? Do you want to look back on it with pain and regret that you didn't do what you could when you had the chance? Or do you want peace of mind, knowing that no matter what happened, no matter how it turned out, you gave your marriage everything that you could? You did everything you could, and you have peace of mind that you didn't hold back, right? And that feeling of peace is amazing. Yeah. I would love to have my loving, caring wife back as soon as possible with great communication and fun, exciting adventures. I love that, Brian. So what kind of fun, exciting adventures would you want to go on? What kind of things would you be talking about? How great would it feel for you both to be safe and secure in the relationship, to be able to share and have that kind of closeness and intimacy? Yeah, it sounds great. Yes, it does. How good would that feel to have them back with you? All right, right now you're probably thinking this all sounds great, but what if I don't have time to turn this around? What if it just takes too long? And what if I could show you here, my friends, that we could save your marriage in less than 6 months? Now, I talked to you about the time frame, right? When you have marriage with issues with affairs, restraining orders, divorce papers, the typical time frame is about 6 months before they're willing to start to work on things. It does take longer than that for it to be fully restored. Complete transparency, okay? And for those that don't have affairs, restraining orders, divorce papers on the table right now, and they're more saying like, I love you, but I'm not in love with you. I need space. I need to find myself. Then that typically takes 3 months or less. Okay. And that's a typical time frame that we usually see. And when we do the marriage assessment with Curtis and your coaching session there, he will go through that. Again, it's a free call, completely free marriage assessment where we read the label on your bottle and help you know what's really going on. So in that call, we will help you see if this is something that can be turned around or not, and about the time frame that it usually takes to get there. Okay, awesome. All right, so do you guys want to hear about our Path Marriage Coaching Program on how to get your marriage saved in that time frame? All right, awesome. I'm going to skip ahead to the end here. There we go. And share with you our Gold Path Marriage Coaching Program, which is the next step that you can take today, and the special offer that I have for you guys that's going to get you going, help you read the label on your bottle, and get you the guidance that you need to go from where you are, point A, to where you really want to be, point B. So the bad news, though, is that we only have 4 spots open right now. I do this masterclass about every 2 weeks. And as people graduate and the marriage is restored and they move on, we are able to open up some more coaching spots. So we have 4 open right now. But the bad news that over about 150 people are going to see the masterclass this week. I'm actually emailing it out to our entire email list tomorrow, which is over 60,000 people. No joke. So 60,000 people are going to have their hands on this tomorrow, but you guys have it right now, today. So if this speaks to you, I encourage you to take action quickly. Now, why is it only 4 spots? Because we're a very small coaching team and we make sure that we give our clients the very best help possible. So we do limit the number of clients that we take on at any time. What is this? This is our proven path process to save your marriage in less than 6 months without getting your heart hurt. It's all the steps that we talked about to go from where you are to where you want to be in your marriage 3 months from now, 6 months from now, 5 years from now. Okay. All right. So what is it? How much does it cost? Full transparency, it's $4,800. This is actually inaccurate. We just raised our prices. So apologies for the inaccurate slide there. It's $4,800. And this is a 4-month program. Plus these bonuses that you guys will get that are not for sale or available anywhere else other than through this program. And it's our gift to you for coming to the masterclass. A little bit of an insider thing here. We found that those that attend the masterclass are our best students. You guys tend to get the best results because you guys put in the effort to show up. You put in the effort to learn, and you are the ones that are wanting to succeed here. And so we like to reward that. So what are these bonuses about? Our first bonus is our fast track one-on-one coaching to save your marriage in less than 180 days. So what is this? It's a 1-hour one-on-one coaching session a month with a marriage coach, a marriage expert here. And we've proven this helps you get 10 times faster results than when you try to just do it yourself. And that's a $4,800 value for free. So this is especially for you if you feel like, you struggle to stick with things in the past, you're just really unsure what's going to really work here. Maybe you've been trying to give them space and it's just not going anywhere, or maybe it's even getting worse. Maybe your spouse is checked out, unwilling to work on it with you, or you're just unsure what to do and if it's going to work. So what we do in the coaching is we take all the guesswork out of you. Not guesswork out of you, sorry, guesswork out of it. So you literally just do what your coach tells you to do, and you can have absolute confidence in yourself, knowing that it's going to work. One of the interesting things about a marriage when it's really struggling is that there's been trauma. And when there's been emotional trauma, our brains go into fight, flight, or freeze mode, and we literally lose the reasoning part of our brain. Blood flow is almost completely reduced to that part, and we go into a very animalistic state, and we tend to react out of instinct. And when we're in an instinctual state, we do not act as our higher self. We do not act in very high value ways. We tend to do things that self-sabotage and push our spouse further away because we're in such a state of fear. And that's why it's so powerful to have an expert guide you through this process, help you learn how to process out of that animalistic, fearful state and act from your higher self, and to do the things that are actually going to work. So you don't have to just worry that you're going to keep messing it all up, right? Because your coach is there to guide you on how to do this process so that your spouse wants to be with you, wants to come back with you, and be with you long term. We're there to guide you every single step of the way so you don't have to rely on yourself to do it by yourself. So you get feedback from your coach on how you're doing with the path process, getting clarity and direction on how to make course corrections, how to stop pushing your spouse away further, how to text them, how to open up communication, and how to have them actually want to spend time with you. And you can relax and know that everything is going to be okay. All right, another testimonial, I'm going to skip that. That is bonus 1, is our one-on-one coaching. Bonus 2 is our 1 hour to restore trust group coaching. And that's a $1,600 massive value for free. So what is group coaching, right? So this is what really sets us apart from a lot of other programs and a lot of other therapy, in addition to just the method that we have that absolutely works. It's a 1 hour group coaching session that fits your schedule. So you always get answers that you need when you need them. And this happens every single day of the week, Monday through Friday. So Monday through Friday, there is a group session going on every single day. Now, do you have to come to all of them? No, you come to them, as many of them as you want, and as many are as helpful to you. What I love about the group coaching is that you get to learn from people like Cynthia or people like Marc that have gone through this program. And they're like, oh my goodness, I was where you are right now. Just a few weeks ago, just a few months ago, my husband, my wife was saying the same thing. So trust the process. Know that it's going to work. Hold on and know that if you just do the work, it's going to work out. And then eventually you will be the senior student if you want, and you can be inspiring other people that are going through the same hell that you're going through right now. To me, I always want to give back. I always want to feel like the challenges I've gone through come to me for a reason, so I can help other people and make it a little bit easier or a little more helpful for them. And so you have the opportunity to share with other students as well, if you want to. So that's a very powerful thing. And what I also love about the group coaching is it's going to give you an opportunity to get feedback on text messages, how to have a hard conversation, and how to have your spouse naturally want to come back to you like a magnet drawing back together. All right. So bonus number 1 is our one-on-one coaching. Bonus number 2 is our group coaching. And bonus number 3 is a special training that we only give to our Gold Path members, okay? This training is called Rocket Reconnection, and it gives you 2 times faster results in just 30 minutes. And what that means is we've distilled over 100,000 hours of training into just 3 30-minute power-packed videos that give you the best and fastest methods to reconnect with your spouse. You can also go into our vault where you can target a specific issue that you're having with your spouse. Say maybe they're having an affair. You want to know how to end an affair in just a few weeks, how to open up any conversation, how to forgive and heal past pain, how to deal with addictions, narcissism, midlife crisis, mental health challenges. So just within a click of a button, you'll have the answer that you need, and you don't have to sift through hours of training videos. And that helps get you the solutions that you need easily and immediately. Okay. I'm going to skip this client win as well. But in addition to these 3 awesome bonuses, I have a couple more. All right. If you join today, I'll add 4 30-minute SOS bonus calls. These normally cost $600 for free because I want to reward you guys as action takers. All right. So what is an SOS call? Is a session that you can claim with your coach if something unexpected happens, and you can get support right away. Here's a bit of an insider tip. Something unexpected always happens. It does. Something unexpected always happens. And we know it's going to happen, and you're going to know it's going to happen, and you're going to get the help that you need when it happens. Okay. And that helps you feel like you're never alone or lost. You'll have immediate help to overcome your biggest challenges, and it helps you not get stuck in them, but be able to move past them quickly. And what I love about this is that issues that maybe took weeks or months to resolve in the past, sometimes even years, we can help you overcome them in just a couple of hours. That's what happens when you have the right method and the right support. I was just on an SOS call just a few weeks ago, and I was helping a woman who was feeling like her husband was having an affair, and she had seen some texts going back and forth, and she was like, I'm going to confront him. I'm going to call him out on it. And I was like, let's get on an SOS call. Let's work through this, and helping her get out of the animal brain, the instinctual brain, help her process through some of these emotions and get to a calm, clear state so that that conversation that needed to happen could happen as effectively as possible. She found out what was really going on. It was not an affair at all, and we're able to clear it up. So instead of it being like this catalytic event that could have ended her marriage for good, it actually turned into a really positive thing that had her husband wanting to open up and talk to her even more. So that's the power of being able to get on a call and get the help that you need when you need it. Sound good? Make sense? Would you guys love to have a coach on call for you so that when something happens and you're like, oh my goodness, I don't know how to respond to this text. I don't know how to respond to what's going on right now. I need some feedback. Guide me on what to do here. Help me get divorce taken off a table. Help me address this affair that might be going on. Help me overcome why they keep stonewalling and won't open up. That you have that support when you need it. You guys find that valuable? Let me know over in the chat. I'd love to hear what you guys are thinking. All right. And the last bonus here is 3 tickets left to our $3,000 2-day unified marriage virtual event. So those tickets usually cost $3,000, and I do have 3 left. And it's going to be amazing because we're taking this into a total VR experience that no one else has ever done before. What is this? It helps couples when you're fully reconciled. Okay. Your partner saying, I love you. I'm in this with you for life. I am never leaving again. I am so sorry. I made the worst mistake thinking that I wanted out, right? You guys are fully reconciled. You're fully committed, and you want to get to even the next level of intimacy, connection, and happiness, and learn what only those 8% of happy couples know. That's what this is for. So if you join today, you'll get one of those last 3 tickets as a bonus for when you and your spouse are both committed. You've done this path process. They're no longer talking about divorce. They're no longer talking about separation. They're back home with you. You guys are talking about anything that you want. You're having amazing conversations, amazing connection, feeling so trusting and secure. And now you're both wanting to make sure that you maintain those changes and that positive momentum for life. Okay. And what's cool about this is that it's valid for 12 months. So you'll have the opportunity to use one of these tickets just as soon as you and your spouse are reconciled and you're both committed to working on the marriage. Because I'm not just about a quick fix here. I'm not just about getting them back and like taking divorce off the table and putting the wedding ring back on. That's all great. We want to make sure it lasts for life. Agreed? All right. So to recap, joining today, you guys get our marriage path coaching program, $4,800. Forgive me for the outdated number there. Plus these bonuses that are not for sale or available anywhere else other than through this program. Our fast track one-on-one coaching to save your marriage in less than 6 months, a $4,800 value. Bonus 2, marriage group healing group coaching, $1,600 value. Rocket reconnection training, 2 times faster results, $588 value. and 4 30-minute SOS bonus calls that normally cost $600 for free. It's like having your coach in your back pocket that you can pull out at any time to get help when you need it. And for the first 3 who join, you'll get a ticket valued at $3,000 to our 2-day Unified Marriage virtual event. Okay, so total value there, $14,788. You can join in the next 24 hours for $4,800 only. Now I'm going to put this, there we go. I'm going to put this link over in, oh no, Diego, do you have the link for me? There we go. All right, awesome. I'm going to put this link over here in the chat, and this is where you can join right now to get one of those last spots before they are gone. And so it's highthrivelivecoaching.com/join-gold. I know it's a really long URL, sorry, but you guys can see it here on the screen as well. And it's in the chat, highthrivelivecoaching.com/join-gold. And for the first 3 who join, you guys are going to join that virtual event with me in a VR experience. It's going to be insane. It's going to be so amazing that when you are connected, you are committed, your spouse is committed, your marriage is saved, and you're both willing to work on things that you guys can join me over there. All right, awesome. Yes, let's go into some questions. Love to hear anything that Curtis would love to address, any other questions over there. And here's where you can join right away. And again, remember to leave your number over in the chat so Coach Curtis can give you guys that free marriage analysis that's going to help uncover what's really going on in your marriage right now and what the very next best steps are to take. Beautiful question, Tracy. Okay, so she asks, do you have any other options? Money is very tight, paying mortgage and apartment. Yeah, and so Curtis is saying that he will send you a text. Yeah, so we do have other options. We do have some smaller packages and some smaller programs that do not give you all of the bonuses I just talked about, but I get it. Like when your marriage is struggling and you have 2 households and you've got lawyer bills, I mean, lawyers are freaking expensive. So what I would love to do is save you guys those lawyer bills. $30,000 is the average cost of divorce, and shift that expense to saving your marriage instead and saving you guys all of that. Just even financial expense, let alone the emotional and everything else that goes along with that, right? All right, awesome. So yes, we do have other options, but we do only have 3 spots open right now for our gold coaching program. So congratulations to those that are joining. Congratulations to those who have joined. I'm excited to see you guys inside the program. Any other questions for me? I have about 5 minutes. I would love to answer any other questions that you guys have. Yes, Angela, we will get you that Proven Conversation Starters Guide. We'll put that over in the chat one more time, so you can go ahead and grab that. Go ahead and fill it out. Awesome, awesome. Curtis, did you see any other questions come through? Oh, it looks like he just hopped off the connection, lost his connection there. No worries. All right, well, I don't see any other questions coming in. But if you have any other, here Curtis is jumping back on. If you have any other questions, bring them to us. Coach Curtis will be happy to answer all of them for you and make sure that you guys get the solutions that you need. So thank you guys so much for coming today. Thank you for everyone who joined. And thank you guys above all for showing up and being the people that are willing to look at what they can do to make a difference in their marriage and in their lives. That says something special and amazing about you. I know that at the end of the day, we all choose what we do about these challenges that come to us. And so really decide who you want to be. How do you want to look back at this time at the end of your life and know that you gave your marriage everything that you could and have the peace of mind knowing that you did everything that you could. So you guys decide where you want to go, and we will absolutely help you get there. Thank you guys for joining me today, and excited to talk to you all very soon. Take care and have a thriving marriage.